The Barren Bride, a werewolf romance story. Opening. Hello, my beautiful dreamers. This is Luna, and welcome back to Luna's Romance Audiobooks, where secrets can destroy or save you, fathers can betray their daughters, and infertility becomes the greatest blessing in disguise. Tonight, I have a story that will keep you on the edge of your seat. A tale of a woman carrying an impossible secret, a father who sold her knowing she'd fail, and a dragon emperor who wanted an heir but found something far more valuable instead. Imagine knowing you can never bear children, that an illness stole that possibility when you were barely more than a child yourself. Now imagine your father, the one person who should protect you, offering you to the dragon emperor specifically to produce an heir, knowing you'll fail, hoping you'll fail, planning for your failure to serve his own ambitions. And imagine the dragon emperor, the most powerful shifter alive, choosing you to be his mate and bear his children, not knowing that the one thing he demands is the one thing you cannot give, that your secret, once revealed, could mean your death. So settle in close, my dreamers. This is a story about the cruelest betrayals and the most unexpected redemptions, about being broken in one way but whole in another, and about learning that sometimes what you can't give matters less than who you are. This is The Barren Bride. Prologue. The Secret. My name is Lyra, and I'm dying. Not today, not tomorrow, but eventually, when the Dragon Emperor discovers I'm barren, when he realizes I can never give him the heir he demands, when my usefulness ends and my life becomes forfeit. I'm 22 years old, and I've been carrying this secret for 8 years, since I was 14, since the fever that should have killed me instead stole my fertility. The pack healers were blunt. The damage is permanent. She'll never conceive, never carry a child to term. Her womb is scarred beyond repair. My mother had cried. My father had gone silent, and I had learned that my value as a she-wolf, as a potential mate, as a pack member, as a daughter, had just plummeted to nothing, because in pack society, an infertile she-wolf is worthless, can't produce heirs, can't strengthen bloodlines, can't fulfill the primary purpose of a mating. For 8 years I've hidden it, told no one outside my immediate family, lived with the shame, the knowledge that I was broken in the one way that mattered most. And now my father has given me to the Dragon Emperor, specifically offered me as a broodmare to produce the next generation of dragon shifters, knowing I can't, knowing I'll fail, knowing it will likely kill me. And he did it anyway, because my failure serves his purposes. My death advances his plans. My sacrifice means nothing compared to his ambitions. This is the story of how my father betrayed me, how the Dragon Emperor chose me, and how my infertility became both my curse and my salvation. Chapter 1. The illness, age 14. The fever. The fever came in winter, a sickness that swept through the pack, killing the weak, scarring the strong. I was 14, healthy, active, expected to survive easily. But the fever had other plans. She's burning up, my mother said, pressing a cool cloth to my forehead. Get the healers, my father commanded. Now. The pack healers came, examined me, looked grave. The fever is attacking her reproductive system. We've seen it in other females. The infection causes scarring, permanent damage. Can you stop it? My mother asked desperately. We can try, but the damage may already be done. They tried everything. Medicines, healing magic, prayers to the moon goddess. But the fever raged for 2 weeks, destroying tissue, leaving scars that would never heal. When I finally recovered, the healers delivered their verdict. The fever damaged her womb irreparably. The scarring is extensive. She'll never be able to conceive or carry a child. My mother collapsed, sobbing. My father's face went stone cold, and I lay in bed, too weak to fully process what I'd just lost. The aftermath. She's barren? my father said later when I was supposed to be sleeping. Completely barren? Yes, Alpha Dominic. The damage is permanent. There's no cure, no treatment, no hope of reversal. This is... He stopped. She was supposed to be a valuable mating prospect. Beautiful, good bloodlines, strong wolf. Now she's worthless, the healer finished quietly. I'm sorry, Alpha. I know this affects your plans. His plans. Not my life. Not my future. His plans. Does anyone else know? He asked. Just the healers who treated her. And her mother. We've kept it quiet as you requested. Keep it that way. If this gets out, she'll never find a mate. Never have any value at all. So my infertility became a family secret. Something to be hidden. Ashamed of. Buried as deep as possible. The shame, my mother tried to be comforting. It's not your fault, darling. The fever, it could have happened to anyone. But it happened to me. And now I'm broken. You're not broken. You're just... She struggled for words. Different. Unable to have children. But you're still you. But children are what matters. What she-wolves are for. If I can't do that, what's my purpose? She had no answer. My father was less gentle. You'll keep this secret. Tell no one. If you want any chance at a decent life, any possibility of mating, you'll hide this flaw. It's not a flaw. It's who I am now. It's a flaw. A serious one. And if males know about it, they won't want you. You'll be rejected, cast aside, worthless. So I'm supposed to lie? Trick some male into mating with me when I can't give him children? You're supposed to survive, to make the best of a bad situation, to use what value you have left, your appearance, your bloodlines, to secure a future. That's deception. That's survival. And you'll do it, or you'll end up alone and useless. Age 15 to 16, the burden. Living with the secret was suffocating. Every time someone mentioned my future, every time they talked about my eventual children, every time they assumed I'd mate and produce heirs, I wanted to scream the truth, to tell them I was barren, that their assumptions were built on lies. But I didn't, because my father had made it clear. Revealing my infertility meant social death, meant being unmarriageable, meant losing any value I had. So I smiled and nodded and let them believe lies. Lyra will make an excellent mate someday, pack members would say. Beautiful, strong bloodlines. She'll produce fine pups. And I'd die a little inside, because I knew the truth. Knew I was deceiving everyone. Knew that whoever mated with me would discover the truth eventually. And then what? Rejection? Abandonment? Punishment for the deception? Why did this happen to me? I asked my mother one night. I don't know, darling. Sometimes the moon goddess has plans we don't understand. If the moon goddess planned this, she's cruel. Why make me infertile in a society that values nothing else? Maybe fertility isn't everything. Maybe there's more to your value than just producing children. Name one thing. In pack society, name one thing an infertile she-wolf is good for. She couldn't, because there wasn't anything. We both knew it. Age 17 to 19. The proposals. As I got older, males started showing interest, approaching my father with mating proposals. Young Lyra is beautiful. I'd like to court her. My son would be honored to mate with your daughter. I'm seeking a mate with good bloodlines. Lyra would be perfect. Each proposal made me sick, because they were all based on lies, on the assumption I could give them children, that I could fulfill the basic expectation of a mate. Tell them the truth, I begged my father. Tell them I'm barren. Let them choose someone else. Absolutely not. That information stays private. But I'll have to tell them eventually. Eventually is after the bond is complete, after they're committed, after it's too late to back out. That's horrible. That's practical. You trap them with the bond first. Deal with the infertility revelation later. By then, they're stuck with you. I don't want to trap anyone. You don't have a choice. This is your only path to security, to having a mate at all. Take it or end up alone. I refused every proposal, made excuses, delayed, avoided. Lyra's too young. She's not ready to mate. She needs more time. My father grew frustrated. You're 20. You should be mated by now. You're wasting opportunities. I'm not trapping someone into a mating based on lies. You're being naive, idealistic, foolish. This is how the world works. Then the world is broken. Age 20 to 22. The plan. By 20, my father was desperate to marry me off. Not for my benefit, for his. An alliance with the Northern Pack would be advantageous. Their alpha's son needs a mate. I'm not interested. Your interest is irrelevant. This is about pack politics. You'll do your duty. My duty is what? A broodmare you know can't breed? You're setting them up for failure, setting me up to be rejected and possibly killed when they discover the truth. They won't kill you if the bond is already complete. Pack law protects bonded mates. Pack law allows dissolution of bonds based on deception. Hiding infertility counts as deception. Only if they can prove you knew. You can claim the healers were wrong, that you didn't know. Feign surprise when you don't conceive. His manipulation was breathtaking. He'd thought through every angle, every lie, every deception. I won't do it. You will. Or I'll disown you, cut you off completely, leave you with nothing. Then do it. I'd rather be alone than be party to this deception. But he didn't disown me, because he still had plans for me. Plans that required me alive and under his control. Plans I didn't learn about until it was too late. Chapter 2. The Betrayal, the Emperor's Demand. The Dragon Emperor's summons came without warning. Emperor Draven, ruler of all dragon shifters, the most powerful being in the known world. He was seeking a mate, specifically, a mate to bear his heir. The Emperor will choose from candidates presented by allied packs, the messenger announced. He requires a she-wolf of good bloodlines, proven fertility, and strong wolf genetics. Every pack scrambled to present their best females, their most beautiful, most fertile, most valuable daughters. And my father saw an opportunity. I'm presenting you, he told me. What? No, father, I can't, I'm infertile. The Emperor doesn't know that. And he won't find out until after you're already chosen. After you're already bonded. You can't be serious. You're going to send me to the Dragon Emperor knowing I can't give him what he wants? That's suicide. That's strategy. If you're chosen, it solves several problems. You'll be mated. I'll have alliance with the Dragon Empire. And when you inevitably fail to produce an heir... He stopped, but I understood. When I fail, I'll be executed or rejected, and you'll be free of the embarrassment of having a barren daughter. Don't be dramatic. The Emperor is civilized. He won't execute you just for being infertile. You don't know that, and you don't care, as long as it serves your purposes. My purposes are the Pack's purposes. An alliance with the Dragon Empire benefits everyone. Your sacrifice is a small price. My death, you mean. My inevitable death when he discovers I deceived him. You're assuming he'll choose you. There will be dozens of candidates. Beautiful, fertile she-wolves. Why would he pick you? Then why present me at all? Because if by some chance he does choose you, the benefits outweigh the risks. And if he doesn't, no harm done. Except the harm to me, to my dignity, to my life. But my father didn't care about that. Had never cared about that. The presentation. I was given no choice. My father had authority over unmated she-wolves in his family. I had to obey or be disowned. So I went to the presentation, along with 49 other she-wolves, all beautiful, all from good families, all fertile, unlike me. Stand straight, my father commanded. Look appealing. This is your one chance at a decent mating. This is a death sentence. You know it. I know it. You're hoping I'll be chosen so you can profit from my inevitable failure. I'm hoping you'll stop being dramatic and do your duty. For once in your life, be useful." His words cut deep, because they confirmed what I'd always suspected. I was worthless to him. Had been since the fever stole my fertility. The Emperor's palace was magnificent, beautiful, intimidating. We were lined up in the throne room, examined, evaluated, judged like livestock. The Emperor himself was breathtaking, tall, easily 6'8", powerfully built. Dark hair with crimson streaks, eyes like molten gold, handsome in a dangerous, predatory way, and radiating power. Dragon power that made the air crackle, that made every wolf present instinctively submit. "These are the candidates?" he asked, his voice deep and commanding. "Yes, Your Imperial Majesty," the coordinator said. "The finest unmated she-wolves from allied packs. All of age, all of excellent bloodlines, all proven fertile. All except me." But no one mentioned that. The Emperor walked down the line, examining each female, asking questions, assessing. "Your name? Your pack? Your bloodline?" Standard questions. Clinical. Detached. When he reached me, he paused. Those golden eyes studied me intently. "Your name?" "Lyra, Your Imperial Majesty." "Your pack?" "Clearwater Pack, Your Imperial Majesty." "Your bloodline?" "Alpha bloodline through my father, Beta through my mother." He circled me slowly. "You're different from the others." My heart stopped. Had he somehow sensed my infertility? Could dragons detect that? "Different how, Your Imperial Majesty? You don't want to be here. The others are eager, ambitious, hopeful. You look like you're facing execution." How did I answer that honestly without revealing everything? "I'm nervous, Your Imperial Majesty." Nervous? Or terrified? Both. Why? Because being chosen by you is a great honor, and a great responsibility, and I'm not certain I'm worthy of either. It was the most honest thing I could say, without revealing my secret. He studied me for a long moment, then moved on to the next candidate. I breathed again. He hadn't chosen me, wouldn't choose me. I was safe, or so I thought. The choice. After examining all 50 candidates, the Emperor returned to his throne. "I've made my decision," he announced. Every she-wolf stood straighter, hoping, praying, desperate to be chosen. I stood silent, hoping to be overlooked, desperate not to be chosen. "The she-wolf I choose as my mate and future Empress is," he paused, "Lyra of the Clearwater Pack." The world stopped. No, this couldn't be happening. "Me?" I whispered. "Your Imperial Majesty, surely. You, come forward." I walked forward on numb legs. This was impossible, nightmarish, fatal. "Your Imperial Majesty, I must inform you, I can't." "You can't what?" Tell him now, before it's too late." But my father's voice cut through. "She's honored, Your Imperial Majesty. Overwhelmed. She'll serve you faithfully." "I wasn't asking you, Alpha Dominic. I was asking her." The Emperor's golden eyes fixed on me. "What were you going to say, Lyra?" This was my moment, my chance to reveal the truth, to avoid the inevitable disaster. But looking at my father's face, at his warning expression, I knew. If I revealed my infertility here, publicly, he'd disown me. Leave me with nothing. I'd be rejected by the Emperor and cast out by my pack. At least if I stayed silent, I'd have time. Time to figure out how to handle this. Time to maybe escape before the Emperor discovered the truth. I was going to say I'm honored, Your Imperial Majesty, and I'll do my best to serve you well. The lie tasted like ash, but it was all I had. Good. The bonding ceremony is tomorrow. Prepare yourself. Tomorrow. I had less than a day to figure out how to survive this. Chapter 3. The Wedding. The night before that night, I confronted my father in private. You knew. You knew he'd choose me. How? I made certain arrangements, ensured you'd stand out, ensured you'd be memorable. The Emperor likes challenges, females who don't fall over themselves for his attention. I made you appear reluctant, different, intriguing. You manipulated the selection, set me up to be chosen even though you know I'll fail. I created an opportunity. What you do with it is up to you. What I do, I can't produce an heir. The one thing he demands is the one thing I cannot give. What exactly am I supposed to do with that? Delay, make excuses, buy time. Maybe he'll grow attached before discovering the truth. Maybe he'll keep you anyway. Or maybe he'll execute me for deception, for wasting his time, for failing to provide what was promised. Then you should have revealed the truth during selection. But you didn't. You chose to stay silent. Now you live with the consequences. You forced me to stay silent. If I'd spoken, you'd have disowned me. And now you're going to be Empress. You should be thanking me. I'm going to be dead, and you orchestrated it. For what? An alliance? Political favor? What was worth sacrificing your daughter? His expression went cold. You stopped being my daughter the day you became barren. You became a problem, a burden, a source of shame. This solves that problem. Either you succeed as Empress, unlikely, or you fail and it's no longer my concern. Either way, I'm free of you. The cruelty was breathtaking, but not surprising. I'd known for years that my father saw me as worthless. Now I had confirmation. I hope whatever you gained was worth it, I said. Because you've killed your daughter. And that blood is on your hands. You're being dramatic. Again, survive, Lyra, or don't. I don't particularly care either way. He left, and I sat alone in my chambers, trying to figure out how to survive the unsurvivable. The ceremony. The bonding ceremony was elaborate, traditional, witnessed by hundreds. I wore white silk and gold embroidery, looked like a proper bride, felt like a lamb being led to slaughter. You look beautiful, my mother said, helping me dress. She'd been crying. I'm so sorry, darling. I tried to talk him out of this. He wouldn't listen. I know, Mother. This isn't your fault. You could still tell the Emperor, before the ceremony, reveal the truth. He might be merciful, or he might be furious, might punish Father's pack for the deception, might execute me publicly for wasting his time. At least this way I have a chance. Small, but possible. What chance? To escape. To disappear before he discovers the truth. To survive somehow. How long do you think you have? I don't know. He'll expect me to conceive within a year, probably. When I don't, he'll investigate. Discover the truth. Then, I shrugged. Then we'll see if dragon emperors are merciful or not. The ceremony was everything a royal wedding should be. Vows spoken, marks exchanged, the bond snapping into place, connecting us on a level deeper than either of us expected. I, Draven, Dragon Emperor, take you, Lyra, as my mate, my Empress, my partner in all things. I, Lyra, take you, Draven, as my mate, my Emperor, my... I hesitated on the next words. My hope for the future. Because the traditional words were, mother of my children. And I couldn't say that. Couldn't speak that lie out loud. If he noticed the substitution, he didn't comment. When the ceremony concluded, when we were officially bonded, when there was no going back, I looked at my father in the crowd. He was smiling, satisfied. He'd gotten what he wanted, and I was trapped with a secret that would eventually kill me. The wedding night. You're terrified, Draven observed that night, in his private chambers. I'm nervous. You're terrified. You have been since I chose you. Why? Because you're the Dragon Emperor. Because I'm expected to produce an heir. Because I'm afraid I'll fail you. All true. Just not the whole truth. You think you'll fail at producing an heir? My heart stopped. Every she-wolf worries about fertility, about conception, about Stop! He moved closer. You're hiding something. I can feel it through the bond. A secret. A fear. Something you're not telling me. The bond. I'd forgotten about that. The emotional connection that let mates sense each other's feelings. I'm just nervous. You're petrified, and it's not normal wedding night nerves. This is deeper. Older. Something you've been carrying for years. His golden eyes studied me. What aren't you telling me, Lyra? This was it. My moment of truth. Literally. I could lie. Continue the deception. Buy more time. Or I could tell him. Risk his wrath. But at least face it honestly. The words stuck in my throat. I can't what? I can't give you an heir. I'm infertile. Have been since I was 14. The fever. It damaged me, permanently. I can never conceive. Never carry a child. Silence. Complete, absolute silence. Then, you're infertile. Yes. And you knew this, before the selection, before the ceremony, before the bond. Yes. Why didn't you tell me? My father forbade it, threatened to disown me if I revealed it, and I was scared of being rejected, of having nothing, of... My voice broke. I'm sorry. I should have told you. I wanted to tell you, but I was a coward. More silence, his expression unreadable. So you deceived me. Let me choose you thinking you could produce an heir. Let me bond with you, knowing you'd fail the primary purpose of this mating. Yes, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Your father, he knew? He's known since I was 14. He's the one who presented me specifically knowing I'm infertile, knowing I'd fail, knowing you'd... I couldn't finish. Knowing I'd what? Kill you? Divorce you? Punish you? Yes, all of those. Any of those. He walked to the window, looked out over his empire. Silent. I waited for judgment, for anger, for whatever punishment was coming. I'm not going to kill you, he finally said. You're not? No, you're my mate. The bond is complete. I don't dissolve bonds lightly. He turned. But I am furious. Not at you, at your father. He orchestrated this. Used you. Set you up to fail. All for his own political gain. Yes, that's unconscionable, unforgivable, and he'll answer for it. His eyes blazed. As for you, we'll discuss your deception. Later. For now, I need to think, process this, figure out what comes next. Are you going to reject me? The bond is complete. Rejection would be agonizing for both of us. I'm not doing that. He moved to the door. I'm sleeping in the guest chambers tonight. You're staying here. We'll talk tomorrow, after I've had time to think. He left, and I collapsed, shaking. He hadn't killed me, hadn't rejected me, hadn't even yelled. But he was furious, and rightfully so. I'd deceived him. However unwillingly, however coerced, I'd still lied. And tomorrow, I'd face the consequences. Chapter 4. The Aftermath Day. 2. The Conversation. Draven summoned me to his study the next morning. Sit, he commanded. I sat, hands trembling. I've spent the night thinking, he said. About you, about your father, about this situation. I understand if you want to dissolve the bond. I already told you, I'm not dissolving it. But we need to establish some things, starting with honesty, complete, total honesty. No more secrets, no more deceptions. Agreed? Agreed. Good. Tell me about the fever. Everything, how it happened, what it did, what the healers said. So I told him, about being 14, about the fever that raged for weeks, about the damage to my womb, about the healers' verdict. They said the scarring was permanent, that there was no treatment, no cure, that I'd never conceive or carry a child. And your father's reaction? He called me worthless, said I had no value anymore, that I was a burden and a shame. Draven's expression darkened. He called his 14-year-old daughter worthless because she survived a fever? Because the fever stole my fertility. In pack society, that's all that matters for she-wolves. If you can't produce heirs, you're useless. That's barbaric. That's reality. At least in wolf packs. Not in my empire. Here, value isn't determined by fertility. It's determined by character. Strength, intelligence, loyalty. His golden eyes held mine. You're not worthless, Lyra. Never were. Your father is a fool. Tears spilled over. Thank you. You don't know. No one's ever said that. In 8 years, no one's ever told me I have value beyond my womb. Then everyone you've known is a fool, including me, for asking for a mate specifically to bear heirs. I was reducing she-wolves to the same function your father did. I'm sorry for that. You didn't know. I should have. Should have considered that there are many reasons a she-wolf might be valuable beyond reproduction. He moved around the desk. Here's what's going to happen. You're staying. As my Empress, we'll rule together. And yes, we need an heir eventually. But there are other options. Adoption. Surrogacy. Magic. We'll find a solution that doesn't require you to produce a biological child. You'd accept that? An adopted heir? Why not? Blood isn't everything. The best leaders aren't always born to the position. Sometimes they're chosen, trained, adopted into it. He pulled me to my feet. You're my mate, Lyra. That doesn't change because you're infertile. We'll figure out the heir situation together. As partners. I don't deserve this kindness. You deserve better than you've gotten. Better than a father who called you worthless. Better than 8 years of shame and hiding. Better than being used as a political pawn. His hand cupped my face. I'm going to give you better. Starting now. Week 2. The revelation. Word spread quickly through the court. The new Empress was barren. Did you hear? She can't have children. The Emperor chose an infertile mate? Why? There must have been deception involved. No one would choose a barren she-wolf knowingly. The whispers were constant, cruel, exactly what I'd feared. Ignore them, Draven said. Their opinions are irrelevant. They're saying I deceived you, that I should be punished. I know what happened. That's all that matters. You were coerced by your father, forced into an impossible situation. You made the best choice you could. I still lied. Under duress, with your father threatening to disown you. That's not the same as malicious deception. I understand the difference. But the court didn't. The whispers continued, grew louder. She's wasted the Emperor's time. He should dissolve the bond, choose someone fertile. She's worthless as an Empress, can't even perform her most basic duty. Let them talk, Draven said. Eventually they'll find something else to gossip about. Month 1. The investigation. Draven sent investigators to my pack, to question healers, to examine records, to build a case. Against my father? I asked. Against your father. What he did was unconscionable. Knowing you were infertile, specifically presenting you for selection, coercing you into silence. That's manipulation. Fraud. Possibly attempted murder depending on how you look at it. He's still my father. He's a man who used his daughter as a pawn, who hoped you'd be executed or rejected when your infertility was discovered, who profited from your suffering. He's going to answer for that. The investigation revealed everything. My father's arrangements to make me stand out, his threats if I revealed my infertility, his calculation that my failure would benefit him politically. He essentially tried to have you killed, Draven said, reading the report. He knew I demanded a mate for breeding, knew you couldn't fulfill that, knew discovery would likely lead to your rejection or execution, and he sent you anyway. What will you do? Strip him of his position, remove him as alpha, ban him from court. He's lost all credibility, all status, all power. He'll be furious. He can be as furious as he wants. He doesn't get to profit from trying to kill his daughter. Month 3. The bond. Despite the rocky start, our bond grew stronger. Draven was patient, kind, understanding in ways I'd never expected. "Tell me about your childhood," he said one evening. "Before the fever or after?" "Both." So I told him. About growing up as Alpha Dominic's daughter. About the expectations, the pressure, the value placed on being a good mating prospect. And after the fever? After the fever, I was worthless, an embarrassment, a failure. My father made that very clear. He was wrong about all of it. You're not worthless, not an embarrassment, not a failure. You're a survivor, someone who lived through a devastating illness and carried an impossible secret for 8 years. That's strength, not weakness. I don't feel strong. I feel broken. You can be both, broken and strong, damaged and whole. They're not mutually exclusive. I was falling for him, slowly, carefully, but definitely falling. "Why are you so kind to me?" I asked. "After I deceived you? After you discovered I can't give you what you wanted?" "Because you didn't deceive me maliciously. You were backed into a corner by someone who should have protected you. And as for giving me what I wanted," he pulled me close, "you're giving me exactly what I need. A partner who understands hardship, who values honesty, who's stronger than she realizes. That's worth more than biological heirs." "You really mean that?" "Completely. I was wrong to reduce the selection to fertility, to treat she-wolves as breeding stock. You taught me that. Showed me there's more to value than reproduction." "I love you," I whispered. I didn't expect to. Didn't think I could. But I do. I love you too. Barren or not, broken or whole. All of you. Exactly as you are. Chapter 5. The Heir Solution. Month 6. The discussion. "We need to address the heir situation," Draven said one day. My heart sank. "You want to dissolve the bond? Choose someone fertile?" "No, I want to discuss alternatives. Solutions that don't require you to give birth." "Like what?" "Adoption, surrogacy, magical intervention. There are options, but I need to know what you're comfortable with." "You'd really adopt an heir?" "Why not? Some of the greatest emperors in history were adopted, chosen for their merits, not their bloodlines. It could work." "The court will object." "The court objects to everything. Let them. This is our decision, our family, our empire. We decide how succession works. We spent weeks researching options, consulting advisors, exploring possibilities. There's a magical option," the court sorcerer said. "A fertility spell. It's powerful, ancient, and risky. But it might restore Lyra's ability to conceive." "How risky?" Draven asked. "The spell works by healing old scars, reversing damage, but it requires enormous magical energy, and there's no guarantee it'll work. The success rate is about 30%. And if it fails, it could cause more damage, make the scarring worse, or it could do nothing at all." I looked at Draven. "What do you think?" "I think it's your body, your choice. If you want to try the spell, we'll try it. If you don't, we'll explore other options. I'm not forcing anything. I want to try, not because I have to, but because..." I stopped. "Because I want to give you a biological heir if I can. Want to try, at least." "Are you certain? The risks?" "I'm certain. I want to try." The spell. The fertility spell was performed by the Empire's most powerful sorcerers. A ritual that took 3 days and nearly killed me from the magical strain. "The scarring is extensive," the lead sorcerer said. "Worse than I expected. We're doing our best, but..." "But what?" Draven demanded. "But I can't promise success. The damage is severe. 8 years old. Deeply embedded. We're fighting years of scar tissue." I lay in the ritual circle, magic burning through me, feeling the sorcerer's attempt to heal what the fever had destroyed. It was agony, pure, excruciating agony. "Stop!" Draven shouted at one point. "You're killing her!" The spell must complete, or all progress is lost. She needs to endure. So I endured. 3 days of magical fire burning through my womb, attempting to heal, to reverse, to restore. On the 3rd day, the spell completed, and I collapsed, unconscious. The verdict I woke 2 days later in the royal chambers. Draven beside my bed, holding my hand. "You're awake," he said, relief obvious. "Thank the gods. You've been unconscious for 2 days." I was terrified. Did it work? The spell? The sorcerers aren't certain. The scarring is reduced, significantly reduced. But whether you can now conceive, he stopped. They don't know. We'll have to wait and see. So I endured 3 days of agony, and we still don't know if I can have children? I'm sorry. If I'd known how painful it would be, how uncertain the outcome, I'd have stopped it. Chosen adoption instead. I wanted to try. Even if it failed, I wanted to try. I touched his face. Thank you for letting me choose, for not forcing anything. Always. Your body, your choice. Always. Month 9. The discovery. 3 months after the spell, I started feeling strange. Nauseous in the mornings, fatigued, sensitive to smells. "You should see the healers," Draven said. "It's probably nothing. Side effects from the spell. See them anyway. Please." So I did. The healers examined me, looked shocked. "Your Imperial Majesty, you're pregnant." The world stopped. "What?" "Pregnant, about 6 weeks along. The spell worked. Your womb is healed enough to carry a child." I couldn't breathe, couldn't process. After 8 years of being told I'd never conceive, I was pregnant? "Are you certain?" "Completely certain. Congratulations, Your Imperial Majesty. You're going to have a baby." The reaction. I told Draven that night, in our private chambers, still not quite believing it myself. "I'm pregnant." He stared. "What?" "Pregnant. The healers confirmed it. The spell worked. I'm actually pregnant." His joy was immediate, overwhelming. He pulled me into his arms, laughing and crying at once. "You're pregnant. We're having a baby. An actual baby." I know. I can barely believe it. After 8 years of thinking, I'd never. This is incredible. Miraculous. I'm so happy. Are you happy? I'm terrified. What if something goes wrong? What if my womb can't sustain it? What if... We'll face whatever happens together. But right now, right this moment, we're celebrating. You're pregnant, against all odds. Despite everything. You're carrying our child. The pregnancy was difficult. High risk due to my history. The healers monitored me constantly, but I carried to term. Delivered a healthy baby girl, dark hair, golden eyes like her father. "She's perfect," Draven said, holding our daughter for the first time. "Absolutely perfect." "We should name her something meaningful," I said. "Something that represents what she is. Our miracle." "Hope," Draven suggested. "Because she represents hope. That impossible things can happen. That healing is possible. That we can overcome even the worst circumstances. Hope. I love it. Hope, Lyra, our daughter, our heir, our miracle." Epilogue. 5 years later. The coronation of Princess Hope as heir to the Dragon Empire was a grand affair. Our daughter, 5 years old now, stood beside us, looking serious and regal in her tiny crown. "She's so much like you," I told Draven. "She has your stubbornness. And your authority. Poor thing, cursed with both." He laughed. "She'll be a great empress someday. Strong, fair, compassionate, everything a ruler should be. Thanks to you. You taught me that being barren didn't make me worthless. That I had value beyond fertility. That lesson, I'm passing it to her. To all the she-wolves in the Empire. You've done more than pass a lesson. You've reformed the entire approach to female value. The fertility laws, the consent requirements, the anti-coercion measures. You've changed the Empire. We changed it. Together. Together, he agreed. After the ceremony, we received a visitor. My mother, who'd been estranged from my father since his disgrace. "Congratulations, darling," she said. "Hope is beautiful. Perfect." "Thank you, Mother. I'm sorry. For everything. For not standing up to your father. For letting him treat you the way he did. For not protecting you. You were in an impossible situation. I was a coward. I should have fought harder. Should have protected my daughter. Should have told Dominic exactly what he was doing to you." She touched my hand. "I'm proud of you. Of who you've become despite everything. You're an amazing Empress. An amazing mother. An amazing woman. Thank you. That means more than you know." My father never apologized. Never acknowledged his wrongdoing. He lived in exile, stripped of title and authority. I didn't mourn his absence. Didn't miss him. He'd made his choices. Now he lived with them. "Do you ever regret it?" Draven asked later as we watched Hope play in the gardens. "Everything that happened? The fever? The infertility? Being forced into this mating? No, because all of it led here. To you. To Hope. To this life. If I hadn't been infertile, I'd have been auctioned off to some other alpha. If my father hadn't betrayed me, I'd never have come here. If you hadn't chosen me despite my deception, we'd never have built this. So the curse became a blessing? The curse taught me my value beyond reproduction, taught me strength, taught me that I'm more than my womb, and then, miraculously, gave me the child I thought I'd never have." I leaned into him. I wouldn't change anything, not even the painful parts, because they made this possible. I love you, barren or fertile, broken or whole, all of you, always. I love you too, my emperor, my mate, my unexpected salvation. And watching Hope run through the gardens, laughing and happy and free, I knew my father had tried to destroy me by sending me here. Instead, he'd given me everything. Sometimes betrayal becomes redemption. Sometimes curses become blessings. Sometimes the thing that should kill you saves you instead. My infertility had been my greatest shame, my deepest secret, my most terrible curse. But it had also been my salvation, my strength, my unexpected gift, because it brought me here, to Draven, to Hope, to a life I'd never dared dream possible. And I wouldn't trade it for anything. Closing. And there you have it, my beautiful dreamers. The story of Lyra and Draven. Proof that cruel fathers can't destroy determined daughters. Infertility doesn't define worth, and sometimes the greatest betrayals lead to the most beautiful redemptions. Did this story move you? Did you feel Lyra's pain and triumph? Did you believe in Draven's acceptance? Then show me some love. Hit that like button. Drop a comment telling me what you think about her father's fate. And subscribe to Luna's romance audiobooks so you never miss another tale of curses turned to blessings. I want to know, would you have revealed the truth at the selection? Would you have tried the fertility spell? Would you have forgiven your father? Tell me in the comments. And speaking of unexpected redemptions, our next story is going to captivate you. It's called The Scarred Alpha's Choice, and it follows a she-wolf who's been horribly scarred in an attack. She's hidden away, considered unmarriageable, a burden on her pack. Until the pack's most eligible alpha, known for his vanity and perfectionism, is injured in the same attack that scarred her. Now he understands what it's like to be seen as damaged, and the only person who truly understands his pain is the scarred she-wolf everyone else has forgotten. Until next time, my dreamers, may your curses become blessings, your betrayals lead to redemption, and your greatest shames transform into your most powerful strengths. This is Luna, signing off. Sweet dreams, beautiful souls.